Hello YouTube, I am your host, Lady Sarisa, and welcome to New City Duel Academy. Today we are going to go in the GOAT format, 2005, everyone's favorite nostalgic deck, or well, everyone that is Kaiba boyfriend. Blue Eyes Aggro. Now Blue Eyes actually did have a little bit extra support. Unfortunately, we could not have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. No many people wish they did. Not today. Which is ironic, because Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, which if you look it up, right here, we have, but we do not have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This card apparently came out before Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon came out, when the Pyramid of Light movie came out. So we had to wait, and that was unfortunate. So a card cannot be special summoned, or well actually, yeah, cannot be special summoned at all, so really don't have the power to get this card out, and it's kind of stuck there. So that's unfortunate for the Blue Eyes, but the Blue Eyes family is still okay because they can still bring out Big Boy Blue Eyes White Dragon, which, as you can see here, we went with the original card art, even though EDO Pro sits there and says, hey, we can use all these different card arts and be okay. No, we went with the original, with a playset of Blue Eyes White Dragon, because Kaiba Man definitely wants to have his big boys in his deck. With a extra playset of Celestial Dragon, with a dual mode beast to get our King Dragon out a little bit easier. One copy of DD Warrior Lady, 2 copies of Sonic Bird, playset of Manju of the 10,000 Hands. Yes, we're playing ritual cards. Ooh. 1 copy of Exile Force, 1 copy of Sandan to search out our Kaiba Man or Cyber Sign, or even Exile Force, but mainly Kaiba Man and Cyber Sign, but tomato. We could also search out our Sonic Bird and Manju. Yeah, fun stuff. But we also play 2 copies of Kaiba Man, just in case we actually get a bunch of Blue Eyes in our hand, because we are running 3, but, you know, Kaiba Man's kind of like our bread and butter. 1 copy of Cyberstein, because we don't really need any more than just the 1, because if we actually end up using a lot of our life points, we don't have a way to get them back, so yeah! And then a playset of Paladin of White Dragon, which is actually really good against going against decks that uses flip effect monsters, so that's fantastic. And then you can turn around and use it as a tribute fodder to get into our Blue Eyes White Dragon. Otherwise, that Blue Eyes White Dragon cannot attack for the rest of the turn, so it's ideal to actually use him for the battle phase if you have the option. Otherwise, he's a good way to get turn 1 Blue Eyes out. But that's it for the monsters. We're running 20 monsters. 1 copy of Heavy Storm for our spells, 15 spells. 1 Delinquent Duo. 2 copies of Metamorphosis, because we are doing some janky fusion summons without actually fusion summoning. 1 copy of Pot of Greed, 1 copy of Sword of Revealing Light, because every aggro deck would like to have a Sword of Revealing Light, but not every aggro deck uses it. 1 copy of Graceful Charity, 1 copy of Reinforcing Your Army. We could run 2, but then we're running the risk of like it being a dead card, and we only have like 4 targets, so 1's just fine. A playset of White Dragon Wish Roll, because we're running a playset of Paladin of White Dragons, so you know. A playset of Book of Moon to recycle our Manju or Sonic Bird, or just having a disruption. 1 copy of Premature Burial, our only Monster Reborn type card, well, our, one of our own Monster Reborn spell type cards. We have the trap version, but not the spell version, because Monster Reborn is banned in this format. Who knew? But that's it for the rest. The spells, we have 15 spells, as I said before. And for the traps, we have 1 Mirror Force, pretty standard. 2 copies of Trap Dust Shoot, because we don't want to deal with problematic cards. 1 copy of Ring Destruction, pretty standard. And then 1 called the Haunted, because we like reviving things. For the extra deck, or fusion deck, I should say, rather. Pretty standard, we have 1 Master of Oz as a Cyber Sign target, as well as Black Skull Dragon, because why not? 1 Gatling Dragon as a Metamorphosis or Cyber Sign target, mainly Metamorphosis, but emphasis. 2 copies of King Dragon because, you know, reasonable reasons. 1 copy of the Last Warrior from Another Planet, in case we need to lock out our opponent, and that will actually somewhat hurt us, but it's one of those ditch efforts. 1 copy of Darkblade the Dragon Knight, 1 Ryo Senshi, 1 Ojama King, because why not, 1 Fiend Skull Dragon, 1 Dark Balter the Terrible, and then as a Sangan Fusionist target, we have Fusionist, or Metamorphosis target. Dear. And then, of course, who else but have a playset of Thousand Eyes Restrict. In our side deck, we don't really rely on our trap cards, so we go ahead and have 1 copy of Jinzo, 1 Tribe Infecting Virus, 1 Breaker the Magical Warrior, in case we need to hurt someone's back row, 1 Mystic Swordsman level 2 if Paladin's not enough, 2 copies of Nobleman Crossout because, you know, flip effects, 1 copy of Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 copies of My Body as Shield because protecting our monsters is very important in an aggro build. A playset of Scapegoat in case we definitely need to go that route. And then a playset of Royal Decree if we don't want to use all our trap cards and we can just eliminate our trap card lineup and hurt our opponent's traps, especially trap attacks. Anyways, that's it for the deck profile. I know I went directly into that after discussing things, but like kind of flowed in, so I went with it, you know? Without further ado, let's go ahead and go into the replays. Okay, so we got definite 2 replays and a 3rd one right here where I believe that's the one I had. Whereas I'm the wiener, so I'm pretty sure that one's it. Anyways, let's go ahead and go into the first one. Blue Eyes versus Exodia. We can see how this managed out. Our first opponent, Blazin, was actually doing a Exodia Heart of the Underdog variant with Ultimate Offering, which I'm not entirely sure about that, but Pinkadink. I Heavy Storm their back row, going into Flozio Dragon, attack into a 2k defender. Trap Dust Shoot, send cards back there. Mad Dog of Darkness comes up. I have a set called the Haunted, I wasn't too worried. There's a Noble Mana Cross Note. I activate Call of the Haunted, get my Flozio Dragon, start attacking them because I have the big boy. Their turn, all they really do is set or summon. And I'm over here going like, yeah, so I am stuck here with a Flozio Dragon. And Noble Mana Crossout came in handy because now I have the way to board wipe their board. But I'm still like sitting there playing this game of, yeah, let's go ahead and just attack whatever they set the entire game that's going on. They finally activate their card to save their turn, which is set Solemn Wishes and set their Luster Dragon. So that tells me they didn't really have a whole lot left to go. So I attack their Luster Dragon and have no need to fear. They have the right leg of Forbidden One. I'm still worried, but not too worried. I get Manju, the 10,000 swords, or 10,000 hands, be able to get our Paladin White Dragon, start attacking directly. And then on our main phase 2, activate Paladin White Dragons to get a Blue Eyes Right Dragon from our deck, and activate Premature Burial, get Paladin White Dragon, and then use your effect again. They end up surrendering. Next we have Blue Eyes versus Jar, who is actually Absol Assassin. Don't believe the name. Dopefish doesn't actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! But they're going first. They set 1 and set 2 cards, 1 back row, 1 monster. I start going into my traditional Paladin White Dragon. They Nightmare Will me. I'm over here going like, that's fine, I'll just summon Blue Eyes White Dragon into my turn. It's perfectly okay. No big deal, nothing to worry about here. They start activating Dark Core, I'm like, you're grounded. But they gain 500 life points, and they have 2 cards set, so that's just wonderful. I set a Sangan and set 1 back row, and then they turn around and draw their card. They flip Dice Jar, hoping to burn me, and they actually do burn me. No, they do burn themselves. One of these games, they activate it, and they actually burn me twice. I activate Sonic Bird. I have no search targets. I just want to find whatever handy dandy Dory. Pop their both monsters. They set Morphing Jar number 2 and set a Nightmare Wheel. I'm not too terribly worried. I activate Reinforced Melee Army. Activate Excel. force and went to attack. They activate Nightmare Wheel. I'm like, okay, fine, that's fine. Of course, I'm going to take some damage, but I have more life points than they, so I'm not really worried about it. They activate Griffin's Feather Duster on themselves and go, that's not how that works, but sure, you can pretend that's Harvey Feather Duster. I attack into a Morphing Guard number 2, and I could play some cards from there and realize I've made a grave error with a bunch of cards. They actually set a Cobra Jar, and I start flipping cards. Then Manju gets an effect. I get Sonic Bird, Kaiba Man's out, activate White Dragon Ritual, attack with Paladin White Dragon, so Cobra Jar doesn't get their effect, and then Kaiba Man attacks it with a poke. I Book of Moon my Manju to get the effect again, so I can get enough second Paladin out on the board, and they surrender because all they had was a Soul Absorption. Well, let's just double check on this I'm the Winner play. Yep, this is another Blue Eyes build. They're actually playing a Horus deck, which kind of hurts me. So I have to be extra careful. And when I mean extra careful, I mean extra careful. I set a Trap Dust Shoot after getting turn 1 Blue Eyes, get their Horus back to the grave, or back to their deck, and so I can just sit there laughing. They activate the Duo to get rid of my Kaiba Man. I get rid of White Dragon Ritual. They hit me with a Blue Eyes White Dragon on mine. Forgetting to attack me, by the way. I activate Heavy Storm, they change with Scapegoat, and all their other back row cards is gone. I knew they had a Metamorphosis, and I was thought they were silly that they did that. But, you know, it's fine, whatever. I have the advantage for now until they actually build up some ground. They get a Master of Walls after Cyber Sign. I'm over here going, well, this happened. So I activate Normal Summon Manju and leave Flu here in attack, start attacking their other cards. Being as patient as humanly possible, they set a Book of Moon and they're attacking my Flu lair. I'm over here going, well, hey look, Excel Force, getting lucky top deck, attack with the Manju, and wait for the next turn. They summon Breaker the Magic Warrior, attack over my Manju. I'm over here going, well, that's just fun and dandy. And then I get drawn to another top deck of Graceful Charity, set 2 cards, pass, wait for them to do anything, but like didn't really wait, and then that Ring of Destruction, win the game. Alright, I think that's it for the video. Thank you guys for popping in. You have been wonderful. I hope you've been wonderful. I'm pretty sure you're wonderful. We're gonna go with you're wonderful. Hopefully you take something out of this, and if you want to be part of these videos or anything like that, be sure to stop by anywhere on Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays we do Modern, and Wednesdays we do GOAT format. So if you're interested in any of those, go ahead and pop by the Twitch channel, link down below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!